Well, hello friends. Let's give this a try again, shall we? Three card Thursday. Good to be back with you again. Uh, Wanted to just kind of do our typical three card draw for the weekend to come and kind of for getting ready for next week, I guess. Um, and also just wanted to say I have really been having a blast reading for other people over Zoom lately. I've been messing with the cards for a little over 2 years now, and I had been hesitant to read for others to any extent. And I think part of that was uh, I knew the cards worked for me, taught me things, brought stuff up for me that I needed to know and needed to take a look at. But I really didn't have maybe confidence in my ability to do that for other people, kind of on the fly. And then also, um, until you have done it, it's one of those things where there was still this little doubt in the back of my mind about, okay, are these cards really going to give somebody else that's not really into them and looking at them all the time uh, the kind of good information that they give me? And it turns out that they do. So far, every reading that I've done, I think, uh, has fit. The information has been good and has been appropriate to the current and their question and that kind of stuff. So that was a happy thing and kind of a surprise. So thank you to everybody who has been willing to play, and looking forward to doing more of that as time goes on here. So we're going to take a look at three cards, uh, and I think that this time around we're going to do um, last week's feature and now showing and coming attractions. So this is a not very clever way of saying past, present, and future, which is sort of the classic three card tarot spread. As always, I forget to move my keyboard out of the way until we get started here. Okay. And I've been shuffling these before we went live. Hope everybody's doing well. We finally have gotten a break over this past week from all of the really severe cold weather and snow and stuff here in Illinois, and have been able to get out for walks in the afternoon a little bit more. So that has been marvelous here. I hope all of you are staying healthy and safe. All right. Let me take just a moment to kind of get my mind quiet here before we get started. And we'll cut. And there we go. Okay, three cards. Last week's features, the Lovers. Oh no, it's actually, sorry, Two of Cups. I tend to get those confused sometimes. Now showing King of Wands. And coming attractions, the Two of Wands. Okay, so twos represent either partnerships or decisions, generally, or things that come in twos sometimes. And of course, cups are the suit of the heart, emotions, the social dimension of our lives. And I think of this card as being very much like the Lover's card, or in the old Marseille deck it was called the Lover card, where it's kind of a decision point. I think of this one as a lot of times, follow the choice of your heart. And so I think in the position of last week's feature, or something that is sort of in the immediate past. We can also think of this as a resource that we're carrying in now. We've seen that movie and we loved it, and we get to bring it on into our experience with the here and now. So this may mean, the big decisions are over for some of us for the time being. Uh, it it may mean that interpersonal um, interactions and particularly kind of romantic stuff is sort of on the back burner for the moment while other things are occupying us. As always, I'd love to hear what other readers would think of this and how they would interpret that card in that position. So, Two of Cups, we can think of that as either a resource or something that's kind of taken a lower priority to some other things in our lives right now. Okay, and then we have Wands in these positions in both of them. So in now showing, we've got the King of Wands. Wands are the suit of the spirit and of passion. Uh, the king is sort of the outward expression of that, and I think of that card as sort of being a very charismatic, outgoing leader, and someone who is showing others the way, and is doing so by force of his or her personality. And so maybe this tells us that it's time to let your passions and your spirit, the stuff that gives meaning to your life, the stuff that just really lights you up, and that should kind of take center stage uh, at the moment and in these coming days here. So if you have got a project that you are passionate about and you've kind of let it lag or something like that, I'd say get it moving again. Don't be afraid to step into the spotlight here with that King of Wands too. It's another thing that can mean. Okay, and then over here in coming attractions, we've got the Two of Wands. So we've got a couple of twos and a couple of wands here. Um, I think of that card as, well, again, twos are either decisions or partnerships. Um, Wands, the spirit, passion, the stuff that gives meaning to our life and really lights us up. Some people say that this card is in the Smith-Waite deck here is meant to represent Alexander the Great, standing there with literally the world in his hand, almost as if he wishes there were other worlds to conquer. We have lilies and roses here, uh, and whenever those appear in the Waite system, they are about manifestation, the spiritual, the white of the lily, and the worldly manifestation of that, the red rose. And so something may be coming into being. It may be having to do with this, whatever is moving us to the center of attention here. We may be looking for a partner. We may have a decision point over the next few days of the next week with this Two of Wands there. So that's how I would see these three cards. Uh, Again, maybe, romance uh, and the social emotional stuff is kind of on the back burner at the moment. Don't be afraid to step into the spotlight in a public setting, maybe, and show the way to others. And Be looking for opportunities here. Be looking for partners and decision points for some sort of very practical uh, project that you want to take on. It may not seem practical. It may be something that is very that you're very passionate about, and that you're wondering, can I really do this? Does this really make sense? But I think, we've got these lilies and roses there. It kind of says that something is coming into being in the material world. So, an interesting spread for a Thursday. I appreciate you joining me once again. Again, I hope everybody is well and you're staying safe out there, and we'll see you soon.